NutriTech YouTube channel. Again, I'm Kakoza Vianney, and on this one we are going to be passing through JavaScript. Yes, we are going to pass through JavaScript from its start to functions, and in the next tutorials we shall be looking deeper and digging deeper into functions, because it is these functions that add up and make a website. Alright, what's JavaScript as well? JavaScript is a language that can be used to do gaming, to program games. It can be used to add greater user experience to HTML programs or PHP, and can be used to do sorts of things like Ajax. So what's JavaScript itself? JavaScript is a dynamically typed language, and what we mean by dynamically typed is that we declare variables pretty much the same as we are going to see, and we don't have the different types of the variables, but their types come up with the usage. Okay, we have statically typed languages like C, C#, and Java, and we have dynamically typed languages like we can look at languages like JavaScript and as well Python. But anyway, let's dig into it and see what JavaScript does. So we are mainly going to do an introduction and through a real dig and depth through in each and every attribute of JavaScript. Alright, let's get started. You can open, if you have any search engine, Google Chrome, then right click, inspect. So here at inspect, this is where we're going to, then you click on console. So in console, this is where we really literally our JavaScript will be running, to be like our IDE. Also in comparison, I'm going to be using Sublime Text. So if you have Sublime Text, or if you have any other code editor like Atom, Visual Studio, you can use that one. Alright, so let's run some commands. Alert. Welcome to JavaScript. Alright, so when we run this, it brings us an alert. Yes, so this is the console that we are going to be using, console.log. Log. Hello. So in the future we're going to know all that this command does. So it prints hello on the console. You're going to really get to know what each command brings and means. So JavaScript can be embedded in HTML. That's what we are going to focus on mainly. So if you have your Sublime Text set, you can save a folder, you can save a file. So for me, I've already created a folder on desktop. So if you haven't created any folder, you can create a folder where you're going to do your work from. So it's called JavaScript YouTube. So in here I'm going to save my initial file that I'm going to run my JavaScript in as index.html. Yes, so JavaScript can be both external or internal. So when I press HTML, I get the template of HTML. So here I can write my data as my JavaScript tutorials. So, and in my body, the way we run JavaScript is we have the script tags, script then this type code will be there. So you can have script tag like that, open and close the tag. So src which stands for source. If you are going to run external JavaScript, you put the source of the JavaScript file. But since we are not going to run an external JavaScript for the start, let's write our JavaScript right in here. So accordingly, so if I save and maybe I write still an alert, testing JavaScript, testing my JavaScript. And as I said, in the future I shall be writing functions which will really do great work. So I want to test whether this works. So I'll go and start my file, desktop, JavaScript YouTube. So let me open my file with Google Chrome, since it is the one I'm using for not Firefox. Open with Google Chrome. Yes, by the way, Firefox as well can do. So that's it, testing my JavaScript. So my HTML works and the JavaScript in it works as well. So JavaScript can also be put, imagine we are writing a lot of functions, a lot of code for JavaScript. It's not good, it's not applicable to write it in the HTML file. So we are going to create a new file for the JavaScript, and we shall write it externally. So maybe going to write it and save it as learn.js. So the JavaScript extension is JS. I can say index.js. Okay, so this is where I'm going to run my JavaScript. So I can as well cut out this and paste it here. Yes. So the way I link to my JavaScript is by having a source being equal to, I've given it index.js. So let's go back and run the same thing. F5. Yes, so my JavaScript works pretty well. Okay, so here we're going to be learning about many things. First of all is commenting. So we can comment using the double slash like that. I've commented out that line. But if you have multiple lines, you can comment with this syntax. Hello. Doing commenting. So if you have multiple lines or even one line, you can also comment using this format. Okay, so those are the different ways we have for commenting. Alright, so let's keep continuing. We are going to look at many things. You can choose your working area. As I told you, either use Visual Studio, Notepad++, Atom. I'm using, for myself, I'm using Sublime Text. So let's start. Now we want to really look at the different types. We have both primitive and reference types. But in the primitive, we can do many declarations. Let me say I want to declare, by the way, starting from ECMAScript 6, the val declaration was eliminated from JavaScript, and now you can declare using the let keyword. So I want to declare maybe a country, a name to be Kokoza. So as we said initially, that JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. We don't have specification like this is a string, but it is treated in a string. So I've declared name, I've initialized to Kakoza. I can go in my browser, right click, inspect element, console, then can see type of. So when I say type of, name, okay, that is a string already. But you can put name, my name. I want to see what is it. It's a string, so you can know whether it's a string. So I can select money be initiated to 30. So this is a number 39, maybe dollars. Let and have things like let parent be assigned to undefined. So this is an assignment operator, the single equal to undefined, and you can select let maybe creation equal to null. So if I go and check for the type of creation string, same. Oh yes, whenever I put them in a string, it is string. So type of creation, press enter. It's undefined. It's weird that the undefined keyword brings a type of undefined and means something is not defined. The null keyword actually is undefined. We are going to have things like objects, arrays, and functions, and look through as we go on. Maybe if you have type of parent, type of parent, when you put them in the strings, I don't know why I use it often, but I'm just used to maybe string declaration. So parent is an object. Yes. So we have total around 4-5 types. We have strings, numbers, undefined, and we shall keep looking through as we go down. So now, what do we base on to declare, or how do we declare? We have literally 5 different rules that we follow during our variable declarations. Yes, and among these ones we have you cannot start a declaration with a reserved. You cannot have a declaration with a reserved keyword. Let me say let if is a reserved keyword, if they maybe 20. So this will bring an error. If you go back and then refresh, unquote syntax expected token on index JavaScript line 8. So line 8 we cannot declare using a reserved keyword. Yes, that's one mechanism. Then secondly, we should have declaration meaning for reserved. Let me say you are excuse me, you're working on a project, and maybe you have a person object. So let me say his name. You want to say the name, let x. So let maybe you send first, let name be assigned to Kakoza. Yes, Kakoza. So this declaration is meaningful. Maybe you have first name, last name, or people have to give you their age. But if you send out just let x, it's not, it is syntactically right, but it is not advised in the programming. So this one is syntactically right, but if you have a lot of code, you get confused what was the meaning of x. So you are always advised to use a declaration that is meaningful. Okay, so the next rule we can have is that you cannot contain a space in the declaration. What do you mean? Maybe before that, you cannot start with a number. So if I want to say maybe let 2 be assigned to man. So this declaration is not right in JavaScript. Let's go to our console and refresh. Uncount syntax error, expected number 10. So we cannot declare like that. Instead, we can select person. So you can say what? So you cannot start a declaration with a number. Then you cannot have space in a declaration. Let me say first name. This declaration is wrong. You ought to have one complete word. So a variable that you're using to declare should be one complete. So when you have two strings, let me say you want to say first name, then the second word should be camel cased, and camel casing is so frequently used and advisable in JavaScript. The first letter of the first word is small, and the second one is capital. So let first name be assigned to Katumba. So this is advisable a lot. You should there is camel casing, that's called camel casing. Whenever I have more than one variable or more than one word to declare a variable, you ought to camel case. So I think those are the rules that govern declarations. And the other thing you should know is that JavaScript is case sensitive. What we mean is that when you select name, I'm going to uncomment this. When you select name equals to Kakozavian, and I also select name with capital be assigned to Avian, these are two different declarations. So if I say console.log name to return the second one, so we can